welcome my friend Chuck Todd. Because if it's Thursday, it's Chuck Todd on the Hugh Hewitt Show. Because if it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning. 60 days until Iowa, by the way, if you're going to do your election calendar.
Oh, my gosh.
Throw that in there. Today is 60 days from Iowa. Trust me, Mark Murray and I, we're making that our lead today. It's like we know everybody's got impeachment fever, but it's 60 days till Iowa, and we have no idea who's going to win it.
Yeah, I heard a veteran pundit and a very respected analyst who I will not name, who's been at the business longer than I have and you have combined, say in an off-the-record comment the other night that he doesn't know who can win the Democratic nomination because none of them have a plausible path. And so it's a Rubik's Cube.
It's funny. Somebody's going to win for sure. We were thinking back at this point in time in the 2004 cycle, December of 2003. Kerry was in fourth in Iowa. Dean had just gotten Al Gore's endorsement, but was beginning to plateau. Edwards was sort of, you could see there was some life. Think Amy Klobuchar right now, perhaps. I just throw that out there. And you had Gephardt, not sure what was going to happen. Was he going to become, and then it was a month later he became the suicide candidate against Dean. But the point is, it hasn't been this uncertain on the Democratic side since then.
You know, I was sitting next to at this gathering, Ken Kachigian, who you probably know from his yeoman's work.
Oh, yes.
Ken leans over to me and he says, Amy Klobuchar. So Ken has been...
You know, it's not the way Iowans, the way we've seen it. I mean, John Edwards went from essentially where Klobuchar is now to second place in 2004. And if it wasn't for the Dean scream, he's the other story coming out of Iowa besides Kerry. And it's a Kerry-Edwards one-on-one, and who knows what happens. But the Dean scream ended up being the dominant storyline for a couple of days, and it totally stepped on. It's like what happened to Rick Santorum. You know, sometimes you just sort of lose your story, you know, until after the fact. Like you did everything you were supposed to do, but something else stepped on your story. Right. And, you know, Santorum got stepped on and it didn't get the momentum he got, and same with Edwards. But you can see a scenario where suddenly there's a whole bunch of people nervous about Buttigieg. That Buttigieg support, I think, is more likely to go to Klobuchar before it goes back to Biden.
I have been playing the Professor Carlin quote again and again, so this is useful to just divert for a second to the fact that Iowa is 60 days away. I just finished a column that'll appear at the Post today about Pete Buttigieg, who scares me more than anyone else right now in the field. I think the president has no way to deal with a generational change, with a complete upside-down election, the most unexpected nominee in history.
That debate?
No.
Can you imagine those two on stage together? I completely agree with you. It's sort of, if you believe, you know, I think it was Rahm Emanuel's the first person I ever heard on the theory that we elect the opposite, almost personality type when we pick a new president. Well, I guess Pete Buttigieg is the polar opposite of Donald Trump.
You could not find a more different person. and right. I had to edit my column because I said he's half the age. Actually, Mayor Buttigieg is 37, right. Donald Trump is 73, so I have to hedge it by a year. But it's still the same. Let me.
The one debate I cannot picture in my head. Everybody else I can picture that debate, not that one.
I would pay cash money.
I want to see it. I'd war game it.
I would pay per view. Now let's turn to the United Kingdom. I had Matthew Elliott of Brexit Central on. He, along with Dominic Cummings, led the Leave campaign. He believes the internal polling has stabilized, and the blockbuster story about Jeremy Corbyn's secret dossier on anti-Semitism is at the top of the Telegraph today. What do you think is going to happen in the next week? We are a week away from the most important election and our most important ally since Margaret Thatcher, and no one's paying attention because of impeachment.
Well, there's that, and also there's just what you said. There's no path to victory for any Democrat. What's the path to victory for Jeremy Corbyn? I mean, when is the Labor Party going to just look at itself in the mirror and realize that the Tories have never been weaker, and they keep winning, and they only keep winning because of one man. Jeremy Corbyn. It's the most. I don't, and obviously, look, I don't live there. I'm not an expert on labor politics. I get intra-party dynamics. You know, we're very familiar here how a base of a party can hijack an entire party. Right? We are well aware of how possible that is. When is it? How many elections does Labor have to lose before they ask Mr. Corbyn to retire?
I think this is it. I want to go back to the Democrats. I've confessed on your stage. I've confessed on my show. I thought Kamala Harris was going to be the rocket. All right, so
By the way, Mark Murray, you know what Mark Murray said to me to make you feel better? He goes, I thought it was going to be some combination of Kamala and Beto as the ticket. So what do I
know? That's it. I've been wrong, so wrong for 2 cycles. Yeah. I'm just hanging up the prediction. But nevertheless, what is going on beneath the surface in terms of non-aggression pacts among candidates, which often are not much reported on, but are almost always present?
Well, here's what it is, and I almost want to leave you with a segment, and I will drop the mic and you guys discuss. And that is this. I have a theory, and it's just a theory, that the impeachment inquiry, the impeachment debate, the hearings, all of this stuff has propped up Biden. And why has it propped up Biden? Not just because Biden's name is in the news and all of this stuff, but Democrats can't, if you're running against Joe Biden right now, you can't use everything in your arsenal to go after. For instance, to me, what is vulnerable, what all of Biden in the news makes him vulnerable potentially is, boy, you've been around for Washington forever, da-da-da-da-da. But there is a penalty to be paid by Democrats if you attack Biden the wrong way and look like you're helping to do Trump's bidding, or you're looking like you're using a Republican talking point to go after Biden. So I do believe in this quote-unquote non-aggression pact, that the person that is benefiting the most right now is Biden, because the other Democrats, there are certain attack lines they can't use for fear they get accused of looking like they're helping Trump.
Interesting.
And I think without impeachment, where would Biden be?
Now, Ron claims a very smart guy.
I throw it out there.
Who's the Biden whisperer? Is it Ron Klain? Are they saying, don't do anything, you've got this?
No, I think they're in a, I don't want to say it's do no harm, but they do have the luxury of, they can make their whole campaign about Trump, right? Elizabeth Warren can't. She tried that for a couple of years, and it didn't work out very well for her. And she wants to talk about the other things she wants to do. Ditto with Pete Buttigieg. Biden, the one luxury he does have is he can do things like he did today, right, which is do a viral video, attacking Trump on the world stage, things like that, because he doesn't have a plan he wants to tout. But I do think that they're in a, don't put yourself they're trying not to put him in many situations where he creates his own news. That is something I've noticed.
That is fascinating. Chuck Todd, always a pleasure. It's Thursday, so you don't have a main guest booked now, but you've got 6 people.
Well, there's some. I'm not sure I'm allowed to promote it yet, but it's somebody who was quite familiar in 2016. I'll leave it at that. It's a good guest. You'll enjoy him.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to that
for a while, but you'll enjoy it. Yeah, it's a good one.
If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press. Thank you, Chuck Todd. My phone number, 1-800-520-1234. Just did a